Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our Survivor 44 episode 12 reaction review. This is a very sad night for the two of us. We have lost the greatest Survivor player of all time, Jamie, who is entertainment gold. I hope that the greater Survivor viewing public appreciates what we had here in someone who had zero self-awareness, thought she was incredible at every single thing that she did, still probably believes that the idols that she had were all real and all lasting until the end of the game. I love at one point in this episode, it's like, I have no idols anymore. Well, Jamie, one of the ones that you had was never real in the first place. I loved her so much as a personality.
She was entertainment gold. I absolutely adored watching from the minute she got off that boat and fell. I was like, yes, I absolutely love you. And then as it just came more and more, I mean, she's such a personality, gassing herself up. Can't we all learn a little bit from Jamie to be like, yes, you go, you're awesome? There's so much negativity out there. We should all learn a little bit from Jamie on that, but also maybe to have a little bit of self-awareness as well. But if you can't be Jamie.
She even had one of the greatest exits ever. Love you, Jeff. It was just like so random, and no offense to Probst, your ego is big enough, so I don't actually have to say no offense to you, but it's just like, if I am out there and I am leaving, the last thing I'm going to think about is I should say something nice to Probst right now, because Probst is just snuffing my torch. Probst has taken me out of the game. He's probably yelled at me in a couple of challenges. I don't need to see his face. I want to see like the face of like an open face sandwich that I am shoving my face in Ponderosa.
Talking about, nice little sort of surprises and niceties that came up tonight.
Yeah.
There was a commercial for Big Brother tonight.
Yes.
I mean, it feels like it's a little bit early to be seeing commercials already, since typically we don't see Big Brother till closer into July. I mean, it's mid-May, but I will take what I can get. And speaking of Big Brother, I know we're coming up to the end of Survivor. We're going to have a preview coming up shortly of the finale, who we think, has the best chance of winning and all that good stuff. But, with Big Brother, we've announced it before here at the channel, but just in case you missed the announcement, we are going to be back here this summer talking about Big Brother. So, stick with us for that. Also, we have a Patreon that's been, had lots of great conversation going on. We've had Survivor stuff up there. We're going to have weekly Big Brothers up there as well as here at the channel. We have a link for you below for our Patreon. So if you want to help support the channel, you want lots of Big Brother content this summer, even more Survivor. I mean, they're coming back with 90-minute episodes in the fall. We have so much Patreon content coming up with Big Brother Survivor. So hit that link and support us.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
This is the one Big Brother thing I will say. I want Jamie on Big Brother. Like, I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not usually the Survivor person needs to be on Big Brother, but listen, Jamie is she would wear all the costumes. She would be a really good sport about it.
She is a good sport.
She is going to be that player who's like, I'm going to win every HOH. I'm going to go out there and
Jamie, you're going to do it.
She's going to fall on her face so many times in the slip and slide competition.
My favorite. I love watching people fall because I'm the terrible person.
And just like, I don't know. She's a very infectious person.
She is. I mean, we're at the end. Was Jamie ever going to win this show? No. But at least we had her for all this time. I think she was just so fun to watch.
And here's the thing, Jamie. We should have watched you for another week because everybody made a terrible mistake tonight. Like, I am going to say this right now. I was on this platform last time with you guys should be getting rid of Carson. Like, I've been on that platform actually for weeks now. So it would be very hypocritical for me to be like, oh, you know what? You guys should just keep Carolyn, who can probably beat all of you moving into the next part of the game. I understand the argument that if you get rid of Carolyn and you are Yam Yam and you are Carson, that means you're going into the next phase with like a minority and those other three can just vote you out. But you have to take the chance at this point. If Carolyn, they said Carolyn's amazing in fire making. She's not great in immunity challenges. She's
right there.
Yeah.
She's not good at immunity challenges. She can go next week.
Yeah, but what if she finds an idol? Like, she's already found an idol. It's just I am a coward. I am not going to take that level of a chance. If I know someone just straight up can beat me, I get rid of them. I bet on myself. I go try to find the idol or win immunity.
I think the thing is we've seen Carolyn not winning immunity, getting caught in the net. We watched her tonight just get completely lost, where she wasn't even with the rolling ball anymore. Like, challenges and Carolyn are not going hand in hand here. If I was in this camp, I'm not worried about her winning immunity. Like, it's really got to be just like some wild chance that she's won. She just up to this point hasn't needed to win it. I mean, she's really done a good job. Tonight she showed her hand way too much, explaining how, smart she was, how she kind of got one over on everybody. This was not the time for it. This was her finale speech. She's giving a little bit too early. But, it is very difficult. That's one of the things Yam Yam was really right about. It's like, do we want to sit at the end with her? No, like, she's probably going to win this, but we do still have time to get her out. And if we vote out, someone who's part of our voting block now, if, both of them, Yam Yam and Carson, are really then stuck in the next one, where if they're unable to really kind of save themselves, like, they are going to get picked off. I think personally they made the right move keeping her for this time. That's it.
This is really one of those things where it's very difficult to argue, because it's just sort of like, I understand the move, just like I understand where you're coming from, and I feel like it is really a coin flip. That sounds silly, but it is, because I can see both of these things working in the right situation. It just really comes down to how much faith do you have in yourself to win the next challenge, find the next idol, be sure to do something to preserve yourself. You're putting yourself in a lot more danger, but you have a better chance of winning if you get there.
I think the thing I was the most surprised is that they picked Jamie over Heidi. And, Heidi has had, some missteps in communication and trying her social game or whatever. And, we all know that she has the idol and stuff like that, but just the same, like, to try to at least flush that out if she maybe had it, for the people that didn't know that she had it. Like, why pick Jamie over Heidi? Like, Heidi has won some stuff and has found some stuff and has done better than Jamie. That's like, I would love to sit at the end with Jamie. She can gas herself up, but she hasn't done anything to win this game.
No,
I'm riding to the end with Jamie. Absolutely.
I'm also just offended that they have taken away the opportunity for us to see Jamie's final speech, because I feel like this is no offense to you, Heidi, who I still feel like you're probably going to be a finalist and get like no votes at the end of this season, because I don't know who you are. I don't know what your argument is. You have found stuff though, and that is a little bit dangerous in the game. Like, that is a little bit of a target. Jamie is just so strange, because, and not just like a strange personality, but I'm guessing, and this is a pure guess. I can't even tinfoil hat this situation really, but she must be a really good social player. Like, she must be somebody who everybody just like really, really likes and wants to root for. And if she got up there, she would make everybody feel really good or something like that. Or they were worried about her and Lauren together. Or it's hard to really say, because yeah, Jamie on our end as viewers is not a threat in really pretty much anything other than like who's going to steal the most airtime from you in a given episode. And then that's kind of it.
It is interesting, though, that Lauren has really kind of come forward in this, because for a while I was kind of like, it's like a three-way race, really, kind of. It's really between Yam Yam and Carolyn. I think Carson's he's really in there now for me. Past episode, this episode, he has a lot of control over what's going on. He's got Carolyn's protection. Yeah. He's got Yam Yam thinking that he's his number one. I mean, really, Carson is Carson's number one. And he's done such a good job of making everybody want to like protect him and bring him along, where I'm just like, I don't want to sit at the end with Carson. But with Lauren, I mean, Lauren, it's not all about winning challenges, but Lauren's really likable. She has been winning
Yeah.
challenges. She has a lot of people on the jury that really like her, that have worked with her, that know the things that she's capable of. I don't really want to sit at the end with Lauren either because of how many allies she has sitting on that jury and watching their faces whenever she's walking in with an immunity like necklace.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, it's tough.
She's just got a good backstory too, and like I think that probably matters to some extent as well. Like nobody's gonna vote for you based solely on your story, but to have the resume that she's starting to build now, yeah, like she
Yep.
does have those challenge wins. She did have that advantage earlier, and I know that Jamie kind of blew that, but she still had it at a certain point in the
Yep.
game. And yeah, the thing I think with Carson that's interesting, and see, I like to think of myself as a very humble person. You know, humble is the first adjective that comes up when people think of me.
You really are
Uh,
though. I know you're making a joke in the video, but
it's the
Matt
first.
Matt really is such a humble guy.
See, I am not. I am the cockiest man.
All
No, no,
right.
thank you. But okay, no, but the thing here is, I am willing to take my L. Look at that. I did the L. I usually do the L backwards. I'm taking the L because last time I was like, Carolyn, why are you playing the idol for Carson? You didn't necessarily need to. It all worked out, but it's like it really, I think, shone through in this episode. Like it wasn't vocalized necessarily, but I think that that move where she played the idol for Carson paid big dividends because I'm assuming one of the big reasons why Jam Jam doesn't go through with the move to try to get her out is because Carson really did not seem to be fully on board with it. And then you get into some sort of like dicey situation here where you don't want to alienate people, you don't want to cause more problems for yourself, or all of a sudden you are instantly like the biggest threat if Carolyn goes.
Absolutely. I think her playing that idol on Carson really brought Carson in with her in a way that he was kind of there with her, but I think after that he was really there. I think, Carson's a smart guy. He's, here for the numbers. He doesn't want to go into the next tribal with only two, with three of them having the votes against the two of them. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I know they were playing it up a lot at
Yeah.
tribal. It was like, oh, who are we getting rid of? Oh, it's gonna break my heart, and sort of like make everybody really comfortable. Maybe flush out an idol if it's out there, which happened. It's all fine and it all worked out, but like there was no doubt that they were going, for me, that they were actually getting rid of Carolyn. Numbers wise, for me, this is just my
Yeah.
opinion. I just think it would have been such a huge mistake when they can deal with it. Hopefully, it's a risk,
Yeah.
but it's a bigger risk to me to go into the next tribal and not have the numbers. Like, I'm going to start voting out my own allies right at the finish line. No, we're not at the finish line yet.
We already know where I stand on all of this. I am just like jumping into the deep end of the pool.
Right. And I feel like Carson would have just been like, I'm a numbers guy.
Yeah.
We need to have ourselves as the votes going into the next so we can make decisions then,
Yeah.
that they can't get rid of, us.
Yeah, like I do understand it, and I'm sure that if they were getting rid of Carolyn, they probably would have operated differently in that tribal council. But I will say, for a split second, it was only just a split second. I was just like, are they really getting rid of Carolyn here? Because
No.
I didn't think so in my heart, but it's just also one of these things where we have been sitting on here like for at least a few videos now, being like, Survivor editors, you are not doing your best because it feels like there's only a couple of real genuine like if they got rid of a really genuine winner contender at Final Six who's like dominated this season, like what a shocker that would have been.
Yeah, and I understand that they don't want to sit at the end with her, but you're not at the end yet. You guys are still on the journey. You still need the votes, and I think it just would have put Jam Jam and Carson in such a bad spot in this next one where there's three people that could be voting together. Only one of them can win an immunity. So if the other person, the other person's just left to go home, like it doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so there's a few different things to get into now, sort of across this episode. I think let's start with Heidi, because I need some help with Heidi, and maybe you can help me, maybe commenters can also help me, because it's like I don't know what it is. There's something about her that's just not connecting. And I'm not necessarily saying with us as viewers, but the people that are out there, like she goes out, she's like, she plays the idol. It's supposed to be this big move of showmanship, but nobody was ever thinking about voting her out anyway. And she just sort of blows it. I don't blame her for playing it at this point.
I would have played it too. It's
Yeah.
like being, you can relate to this because you were a millionaire. It's like being on a game show and you start to like, there's money on the line. There's all kinds of stuff on the line where you're just like, okay, I'm going to use whatever advantages I can, even though I'm pretty sure I know that I'm safe or I know the answer.
Okay, I got it. Okay, here's a good comparison. It's like you're going to a magic show and you're watching a magician and he's just like, I'm going to do this trick for you. Voila, the trick is done. It's just like, there's no showmanship. There's nothing funner. It's just like, Heidi does not have the showmanship. She does not come across to me like she needs the prestige. Like, can we get Christopher Nolan in here to do a little bit of the prestige?
Listen, I'm okay with, a 5-second magic trick where there's no actual like showmanship. You ever get cornered by a magician and then you're just kind of like, is this gonna be like a 5-minute magic trick or like a 10-minute magic trick or like a 20-minute? Like, how long do I need to be here before I'm mesmerized? Like, I'm already, we're going off topic here.
Well,
I'm here for the 5-second magic trick with the no showmanship. I think that as long as Heidi is showing that she's doing something and that she's here and she's playing, then the magic trick has landed.
I want to go back to where are you being cornered by a magician who is just like, let me show you a magic trick.
There's always that kid at your school who's like,
okay.
Pick a card, let me show you this magic trick. And I'm just like, oh man, like, how long is this magic trick? How much of my time do I have to sit here to watch you like get out of this straitjacket? Is this 5 minutes? Is this 20 minutes? I only have so much time for my lunch break.
Okay, so the Carolyn highlight reel for this episode. You mentioned one of these things earlier, and this one is just really the her talking too much afterwards. Here is the explanation for what happens. Carolyn, from what we can see of her in the game, she has never held on to a secret of this magnitude in her entire life. Like, she seems to be very, very interested in being very blunt with her feelings, what she's doing. This was very, very hard on her. I think the moment that she said this, it was just the floodgates had opened. There was no way to hold it all back anymore. And she's just like, finally. Blah.
Well, the other problem is they were the people that were asking questions like Carson was like, what about that red X? This is somebody that she's just protected. We've seen it in, past episodes and especially in this one where she's just like, oh, Carson, like, he's my guy kind of thing. I think once it's him that's asking those questions, she's done with the lying. I think she's just like, we're at the end of the game now. Like, I'm done with this.
Carolyn, as you also mentioned during the challenge, that first challenge, also all time with the ah! She's just like running in. Carolyn.
The interesting other thing about Carolyn, though, is when she was revealing too much, I think she realized it. Like at the end of that conversation, she was like, you guys still need to not see me as a threat. She said something along those lines where she was like, I'm still not a great player. I don't want you guys thinking I'm a great player. So I think she realized that she had stepped too far.
Yeah, Carolyn is smart enough to know, okay, you know what, I gotta sort of reel myself back in, get back to some antics, do some of this stuff. By the way, Carolyn, if you want to go on the challenge, I know we're sending Jamie to Big Brother. Carolyn on the challenge, just like shrieking in every challenge.
No,
please.
I would like to see Carolyn on Big Brother.
Oh, that'd be fun.
She's just so good at reading the room. I've said this like all season long. You guys are probably sick of it, but man, she's just so good at reading people. And, Big Brother is all a game all about reading people and being able to sort of detect lies and figure it out.
So we have this reward challenge in this episode, and I'm not going to go as far into you absolutely need to flop like a fish and throw this like I did with the earlier one with Franny that really possibly wrecked her entire game.
Yeah.
I also still wouldn't have wanted to go on this challenge because nobody found an idol. Like, there's got to be another idol out there, right?
I'm not mad about that.
I know. But it's also just like, if I'm not on the reward, I'm assuming that the idol is not on the reward. I mean, production can do whatever they want. I do not want to be anywhere where I am taken away from the chance to find an idol or to keep somebody else from finding an idol.
Yeah.
Carolyn, all-time moment after the idol. Can you burp in my mouth? No! Who's Carolyn?
I don't even know why we're discussing this video.
I know why we're discussing
gross.
It was the most disgusting thing.
It was so weird, but here we are.
No, this episode reminded me, I think just in general though, of, why I really enjoy this season. Like, it's not the most surprising boot in the world. Like you said, we all thought that Jamie was going to go, but it's the little moments, I think, with this cast. It's the, Yam Yam's just incredible charisma. Jamie saying, I never lie to you, with Carson with such conviction. And I'm just sitting back and being like, I don't know what's true and not true with you anymore. Like, even if you are lying, Jamie, you probably believe that you're telling the truth. You either have forgotten your lies or you've convinced yourself of your lies. I don't know. It's such a fun season, and I'm just going to be so sad when it's over.
Yeah, this cast has been just 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed everybody that's been on the season. Even Josh, with all his nonsense, so good. Yeah, I love Josh. Like, this was a really, really good cast.
All right, well, we'll wrap this video up here, but as we've said earlier, we'll have a preview for the finale coming up a little bit later, so stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button. Check out our Patreon. That link is in the description down below, and we'll see you next time.